GM everyone, and welcome to Wake and Jake, where we cover everything in crypto. A lot of a lot of heat in the market. I mean, we left behind the holidays, and here we are pumping across the board. Jake, GM, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, GM, man. I'm doing great for sure. It's been a really good week for me trading, which has been nice because I hadn't been trading very well at the end of the year. But it's like as soon as like January started, it's just like conditions have been so much better. Um, so that's been great. We'll definitely get into kind of where the pockets of activity are, and I think where a lot of the opportunities are for sure. Yeah, man, just in general. Doing well. We can cover macro here in a second, but how are you doing, man?
Good, bro. Been crushing, like you said. I mean, we've preached it over and over, and I was very vocal about how December holidays are going to be choppy. People take profit. They spend time with the family. They cover their taxes and stuff. And then as soon as we hit January, we knew it was going to be like escape velocity, and here we are, like not even a week in, and it's just been crazy to see. So I'm glad we were right there. I mean, that's more experience than it is like a crystal ball. We knew it was coming, so and we stayed locked in and we took advantage. Right, I saw some of your PNLs really well done. I'm sure some of your longs are printing right now, and the same for me. I mean, a lot of my shit coins have been doing well. A lot of the AI stuff, I'm not even that deep into it yet, but we'll get into it. Um, yeah, and some of my longs too. Obviously, Pengu's been crazy. I mean, yeah, everything's doing great. But yeah, go ahead, take it away. Let's hear what you have to say about macro. I'm so excited for this episode.
I love that. I love the energy. Um, yeah, last week I definitely was more in the camp of like we both talked about we were certainly bullish for January. We just wasn't really sure when in January. Thought we might get a little bit more chop pre-election. But it doesn't seem like that's or sorry, pre inauguration of Trump, but it doesn't seem like that's gonna be the case. I like quickly changed my mind, like probably like within a day, after it seemed like we bottomed out, and we started and we pumped pretty aggressively off the bottom around like 92K, just under 92K or so. Now sitting at 102K basically for Bitcoin, up 11% on the week. E 3700 up 12% on the week. Solana 220 up 18% on the week. Majors in general pumping like also a ton of alts this time as well. It's not just majors. Alts in general have been up like pretty significantly off of their weekly lows. So it's been really good to see all around. Yeah, I just I'm certainly very bullish right now. We reclaimed 100K, which I think was a big level. It was obviously, I reference Don like pretty much all the time in these shows. I'm in the wrong chat, but here is his prediction was basically, um, I can't share his tweets anymore. I think he went private or something. So I have to screenshot, but I'll post it in voice hangout chat. But he basically said 2 days ago, he said we had an excellent week, but we're at a level that's quite dangerous. That was around like 98K, and that was the big resistance was 98K to like 100K area. And he said break it and we're gonna send everything basically. I like to see it broken before getting too euphoric. And I mean today we broke it for sure. We closed just above it too. He sent an update a couple hours this morning as well, saying that we're just above it. Um, so that's really good. I think we'll see new all-time highs really soon. Um, so I'm very firmly in the bull camp. The fact that we were able to reclaim 100K, I don't know. It feels like send everything season, to be honest. Like I feel like ETH and Sol will probably both do well as well. I don't really have a good pulse on like what's gonna do the best. We might get like a temporary like Bitcoin strength run first. Is when we usually see when Bitcoin leads the way and then the others follow. But Sol has shown a lot of strength too, so it might just follow right alongside Bitcoin as well. But just in general, I'm just very bullish. I think with probably like 120 to 130K or so in this next leg, at least.
Yeah, well said. Don's always a good follow, as you said, and it's just been fun to see him like be bullish. Even I'm seeing even replies. You know what I mean? Like across the board, everybody's happy, and it feels like for the first time in a long time, this was something that was like easily predictable by everyone, and everyone was just waiting for the month to flip over. I didn't see too much FUD in December. It felt like everyone was just waiting for January to start, and all signs point to higher numbers. So there was really no panic this year. I felt like other years it was a bit more rocky. People weren't too sure of what was going to happen, but this year everyone was just waiting with their cursor on the buy button. It was really crazy to see. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't think anything's doing better than AI right now. It's actually been crazy to see. You can't even as bullish as someone can be on AI. I don't think they're bullish enough. It's just crazy to see how much it's grown, and how much is developed and how many different ecosystems are growing from it. There's a lot of like with anything else, there's a lot of like fluff and bullshit that comes with it. But I mean, at least that's easy to filter out, and you can if you dig deep, you can identify the good products. And yeah, I mean that's what we've been seeing. I mean, even in MVHQ, silently, the new hot thread in MVHQ is AI, artificial intelligence. It's overtaken shitcoins, and a lot of people are still sleeping on it on top of it. So, it's been cool to see. I mean, the market's hot and a new sector's developed, and other just like with any other meta or even time frame, there's always a new meta that comes out, right? Then this is what we're in right now, AI, and I think it's going to be here for a while, unlike other metas that we've had in the past that were like come and go or felt a little forced or whatever. This just feels like the natural progression of the space, and here we are now. Like it's just been fun to see. There's just so much going on.
Yeah, man. I think I think this is gonna be a recurring. I would say for the foreseeable future, we'll have a segment on AI on every single show. Um, I mean, it's obviously. I mean, we've talked about it obviously a ton, but it's clearly not going away. If you just look at like Mindshare, Ricky Mar. I think he got this from OGD Farmer, but this is from Cato, where it gives you like Mindshare of I'm pretty sure this is of like crypto Twitter or whatever. And right now AI is just absolutely dominating 72% of all of mindshare.
Russian.
I mean the next highest is 4.8% for memes. So it's just absolutely like the number one thing. I know obviously this isn't like it's probably not news to anyone. But I just think like this dominant of a lead really shows, especially after how long it's been around. Um, it's been like dominating mindshare for months now already. It just to me, like I keep making the parallel of like NFTs of last cycle. It just seems so similar to like just the fact that there's like this fervor and like this uncapped upside of what AI can do, like similar to how things felt if you're around in like 2021 of like what NFTs can do is like, oh, it just unlocks so much. And there's just so many use cases that we need to explore that people were just so ready to like throw money at all these different types of projects. And like things got to crazy valuations because like we didn't know there wasn't anything to compare it to. There wasn't like a um like the sky was the limit basically. And it feels very similar to AI, except in my opinion, like AI is probably like quite a bit higher, like higher like ceiling than what NFTs were, just because AI is also like very much incorporated into like already like very much like seen as like the obviously next thing in like trad fi and just like in the normal world as well. And just the fact that we can now incorporate like value, uh aka like crypto coins attached to these AI. It just makes a ton of sense that like AI lives in the digital realm, so there needs to be like some type of like digital monetary value attached to them. And now we're like finding all these new use cases. So I mean, obviously, if you've been like shitcoining or whatever, like you're seeing these coins go crazy every single day, like in the millions, multi millions, hundreds of millions, um, on a daily basis. And they're just new use cases, and a lot of them are like can just be shit, but they'll still run like crazy, just because there's so much, there's like so much pent up, like I don't know, I use fervor again, but I couldn't think of another word. Just like people wanting it. No, I think it's very similar, and I think it's gonna play out. I think it's probably gonna be similar where it can go a lot higher than what you expect. I think I've seen a lot of other, I've seen some smart people say something similar as well. I think this is a good representation. This has been shared a lot too. You probably have seen it. At least a good amount of you probably seen it too. But this is I'm sharing a voice hangout chat. It's the co- the comparison of DeFi, like early DeFi 2021 to AI now. It's like the chart of like market total like market cap basically of
That's
like AI
nuts.
index
Look at that
and like kind of where we
comparison.
are now. Like we're just like at the like the beginning of like
Oh my God.
the the going crazy. Like for instance, this is like 10 million billion right now, and like the DeFi topped at like 60 billion, so it's like a 60x, and that was, I mean, that's also evaluations of last cycle, and like usually, I mean, every cycle so far has been like much
Bigger.
bigger
That's
valuations,
exactly what
right?
was just on
So
my
it's
mind.
gonna be like
Yeah.
double or triple that, um, at least, So I think things can get a lot more crazier than what we expect from AI stuff. Like I would be careful being like to like trying to like call tops on this sort of thing because there's just so much. In my opinion, there's a lot more room um, to run here with this stuff.
Yeah, it's not a sector that people should fade at all, I don't think. It's just too like I know a lot of people are on the sidelines and a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm just gonna wait for this meta to pass because I don't understand it and I can't get involved." But there are ways to get involved every single day when it comes to AI, and you don't even need to understand it. That's how hot it is. It's just like when it was NFTs in the past, where kind of like you said, Jake, where we just used to invest in the dumbest things that we would never usually invest in. It's the same thing, and I'd say even bigger with AI because things that you're investing in at super low market caps that just got a mention of someone that's big in the space are pumping to the hundreds of millions pretty easily. So it's crazy. I mean, you don't even need to understand the tech or dig into it to make money. I admittedly haven't dug into like half of the stuff or even a quarter of the stuff I've invested in lately. I just like looked at it and saw it had a lot of volume and said, "Yeah, this is AI good. Let me ape in. Doesn't look like a rug. I know it's gonna do numbers." And that's just been my play. Really, I haven't really dug into any of it because a lot of it's just confusing to me. So, but others I have obviously, and I like what I'm seeing too on a lot of them that I'm investing. But there's just so much opportunity. And I think this chart that you posted with the mind share of AI, this here AIs compared to meme or DeFi or whatever, charts like this are more important this cycle than BTC dominance to me because we've come to a point where BTC is BTC and it'll have its dominance over the rest of the market and it's super hot, but things are running together like they're running mates now. You'll see Bitcoin running like crazy, but it's not gonna drop or leech off of the rest of the sectors. If anything, they're gonna run together. There's just so much money in the market. So I look at this is the least I've looked at BTC dominance in forever, and all past cycles I've always kept an eye on it because we were really just bare bones and it was like main coins and altcoins or and some shit coins sprinkled in or NFTs that would kind of like not run at the same time as Bitcoin. We used to see a lot of the times where if the coins were running, NFTs would not go anywhere. But it just feels like now, especially this cycle, it's up only season and everything's moving together. Where you want to know where to park your money and what to invest in, like which sector you want to invest in. You don't really care that if Bitcoin's going up, oh, I have to hold my funds now and not do anything. There's just so much going on. So yeah, I've been looking at BTC dominance a lot less and mindshare a lot more. Like I want to know how much money's going into AI. I want to know if memes start creeping up a little bit and let's say they get to like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10% market share. Now I'm thinking, okay, memes are coming back. Let me start really rotating back into them a little bit. But yeah, I think AI is going to dominate mindshare, and some other sectors are going to have their little spikes in activity. But I think AI is here to stay for a long while. I mean, it's given it's given crypto a different form of life, and it's made it more personal in a way too, where like you know what I mean. Now it has a face. It has like it feels like crypto's talking to you on Twitter now, and a lot of it is annoying. Like a lot of these AI agents are just fluff, like I said before, and you need to like mute them, but a lot of them are giving a lot of good info, right? We talk about AI XBT all the time. We talk about like NFT XBT. We've talked about many of them that are popular now, and I think they did bring a whole new life form to crypto, and they're important for the ecosystem now. So I can't wait to see where it goes. I can't wait to see how it develops, and the future's bright. I mean, really, it's gonna, if anything, that's gonna really accentuate what we're doing here, and it's gonna bring in a lot of the you see a lot of the new accounts too, and like the tech whizzes out there from like the AI scene or like computer science scene, they're all jumping in now, right? And they're all coming into crypto and developing a product tied to a coin or to AI. So it's becoming really, really like the meta for these people to develop in our in crypto, and I think that's just great for crypto in general, not just for AI sectors, because eventually, like first of all, it's all the same thing, right? It's all crypto, but also they'll eventually branch out and keep building products for crypto itself. So I think it's just good, and crypto's in a great space, better than it was last cycle by a mile, and I can't wait to see where we go.
Yeah. Personally echo all those sentiments. Yeah, shout out you guys for being really bullish on it early. And, I kind of agree that it's pretty early. I have struggled to evaluate a lot of these AIs, but, like one of my favorite projects with Parallel, they had a stream with Thread Guy the other day, and Thread Guy asked them, like, how far along do you think AI is in general? And, they said probably less than 5%, right? And um, you kind of see it in the market. There's a lot of these like high market cap coins where you never really had this with NFTs where you're not even sure if it's real still. Um, I'll just point out one and not try to FUD anyone's bags, pick on anyone, but like Swarms, has like FUD about the dev or whatever, right? And it's at like 400 something mil market cap, and it's like unheard of, right? With coin, I mean with NFTs. So yeah, I mean, I think like there's still a ton of upside, like you're all saying. Just more use cases. I think a lot of the ones that are good right now are still kind of just like yap bots, just like chatting on the timeline, and you haven't really seen a lot of the use cases yet. So
Yep.
I agree with what you guys were saying.
Up only
Yeah,
season,
man.
baby.
um, yeah, I think we've already seen, like, if you even think of like back a little bit from just like even like a few months ago, like how many like new things have popped up that like seem, I guess, cooler, like have better use case. Like I mean, just like AI XBT, for instance, like that was like not a thing like 4 months ago. I don't even remember when it launched or whatever, 3 or 4 months ago. And now there's like this bot that can like give you insights on like different coins and stuff, just on Twitter. And I think it's only natural that it's going to just keep improving quite a bit, and that's why I'm like so bullish on like that, and the fact that I just think we're so early is like it's going to get better, right? Like the tech is going to get better, which is going to improve use cases, which is going to make it more valuable, and like help out with more help like provide more solutions to businesses, to everyday life, to whatever, which means obviously more value and higher market caps for coins and more people wanting to invest and all that. So yeah, I'm just in general feeling really good about AI. Here's a tweet from OG Farmer or D Farmer um, who I reference a lot. He says, incidentally, this was 2 days ago. Incidentally, the next AI leg up is the oh shit leg. It's where people realize they missed yet again and FOMO everything stupidly higher. It's where they understand that this isn't going anywhere. It's like Nifty Gateway 2021. Bored Apes haven't even minted yet. Punks are like less than ETH or whatever, or just starting to make some noise. Like that level of the cycle. That's honestly how I feel too. Like I've always thought, for or at least for quite a while, that like 2025 is gonna be very similar to what 2021 was in terms of timeline goes. Like this is like the bull year,
Yeah.
not last year, how like a lot of people have been trying to call top of like end of 2024. But in my opinion, like it just didn't make sense to be any type of top when we hadn't even had like retail come in yet at all in any type of significant way. And I think this is like the year that things can get pretty crazy. And I think AI is going to be the leader. How NFTs were the leader last time, but it'll be, I think it'll be even bigger.
Yeah, I even think this is the craziest bull we'll ever see. Like everything that we've wanted to come to fruition is finally happening, and that's it. After that, it's just going to be accepted, and you know what I mean. Like the big blow off top is here now. Like if you're not involved now this year, like the other, like I think future cycles are also going to be hot. but I think this is the one. I think this is the last big one. And I mean, we'll always make crazy money in the space. I think there's, especially for people like us that are, you know what I mean, deeply rooted in the space, we're always going to make money. But I think the one that's going to see the biggest gains, like instantly, the ones that'll like teleport your valuation to like they'll just teleport your valuation, is this one here, just because of how many things are kind of coming together to make the perfect storm and create a super cycle. So take advantage of it. And AI is just gonna is a big part of that. I think it's gonna be the main thing of this cycle, and it's rightfully so. Honestly, like I've even me like even with AI XBT, we talk about it all the time. I mean, I get so much alpha just from that one AI. So imagine when more of them are coming out that are that high quality. Crazy to see. And what's crazy about this OD farmer OGD farmer tweet is that we were maybe a few hundred people, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people in the space at the time. You know what I mean? Like MVHQ, we were quite a few also, but not that many. We were probably, I don't know, a few hundred people in here. I don't think we had minted our NFTs yet, and I mean, and NFTs were going nuts. Like, and when we started getting more and more people, right, we just went crazy. And now we're let's go back to that same starting point, but now with like tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of people all starting off at the same starting point. I mean, the multipliers could be just that much crazier. And what's great about MVHQ and the people that we know also on crypto Twitter and who we follow and all of our experiences, that we're ready to take advantage of those opportunities that are coming. We're way in better shape than 99.9% of the space to actually be an early and to take advantage. We see it every day. Coins come out and we're like, oh, look at this one. It's a crazy AI, and this guy retweeted it, and it's only like at a couple mil. All of a sudden, next day, it's like at 100 mil. So I've never seen so many 50 to 100 X's in the same week ever before. So just take advantage of these opportunities. And yeah, NFA, but you should be involved in the markets right now.
Love it. Oh, why did it fuck up my link? Copy link.
I don't know. It's
There we
been
go.
weird lately. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I was gonna shout out. Obviously, if you aren't already, we have an AI thread. We also have shit. I mean, we also have shit coins too, and those are kind of like the two main places for this AI stuff. Shit coins moves quite a bit faster, I would say, and there's a lot more like scans in there and stuff, so it can be harder to get information if you're like looking back on stuff. And it's more like obviously degenerate, like new launch type stuff. AI is too, but it's more of I would say like there's more like discussion, like longer form discussion around AI and like different projects, and probably people more like looking to longer term hold um, conviction bags. But there's also discovery of new things as well. So I'd say those are both good places if you do want to get involved in VHQ. Then obviously field reports. There's been a lot of good field reports on different type of AI stuff like virtuals. And a lot of different virtuals ones. I was seeing like 3 or 4 different virtual ones, and a lot of other ones. Detecting AI rugs, Ross. Yeah, a lot of good ones.
Yep. I mean, those threads are popping off, and hats off to NVHQ for always like pivoting early. We've been on this for months now, months, and finally you start seeing how big and how vast it's getting with how many different threads are popping up, and they're all high on alpha. I like that we split it up too now, like because shitcoins are like you said more degen, and then AI is going to be more focused. So it's cool. I mean, I like it better this way. I'm gonna have to focus way more on in the AI thread too. It's just been a print fest, really. I mean, you guys called those waifu virtuals when they were still under point 0.1. I think they were under 0.05 even, and people cooked hard on them. And they weren't even on my radar until I saw Easy talk about them because I didn't pay attention to that thread. So, yeah, definitely a good place to be focusing. Um, Speaking of those NFTs, I mean, it's airdrop season, bro. I mean, even now we're seeing an AI slash uh airdrop season. Everybody seems to be creating an agent, and everybody seems to be wanting to airdrop their community some sort of like token that's part of an AI agent. We're seeing it with Parallel and their prompt token. We're seeing it with those waifus. I think they're gonna have a token, and that's why they popped off. And even Bored Apes. which completely surprised me. And I found out from AIXBT. I'm an ape holder, and I didn't know this was coming. But they have Katin coming. I think that's on Binance chain, and I don't know exactly the requirements. I haven't looked into it too much yet. I don't know the requirements yet for the airdrop, but I think it's going to be airdrop to most ApeCoin, or I mean not ApeCoin holders, but Bored Ape holders, and it's called Katon, Catton. I'll link it here. So that's cool. I mean, finally they're waking up and coming, like getting together with the times and giving a little bit of value to their holders again. I know we've gotten a lot in the past, but it's nice to see that they're trying to add on there. And Bored Apes did pump a little bit to 16.5 from the 15.5 that they were a couple days ago, so that's nice to see. But yeah, man, it's airdrop season. If you have parallel token, I mean Prime token, and you're in the parallel ecosystem, make sure you're staking your Prime so you can get some of that juicy prompt airdrop. I mean, this is this is the meta right now. You need to be able to get airdrops, and on top of it, AI airdrops. I mean, you're cooking. Tell me a little bit about those waifus, Jake. I wasn't in. I didn't buy any. I thought I was too late, and I ended up not being too late on them. But yeah, give me a little bit of give us a little bit of a take on those, please. I'm curious to see what's going on with them.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy early, unfortunately. Even though I saw them really early and I faded them, I saw like Seth talking about them originally when they're like 0.015 or something like that. And I just faded because I saw that they weren't from the virtuals team. Um, but then I saw like more social traction from them. And I kind of just got confirmation, I guess, that they had like that they could be like a thing, a big thing. Um, I just think there's like a gap in terms of like a popular NFT AI, like a AI posit like pro AI NFT like PFP collection. Like there's if you think about it, there's not really any. Like maybe Zero Born would be one, but in my opinion, like Zero Born's not that great because like the traits are pretty shit. Um, and it's like they're all basically like the same thing in my opinion. Whereas this is like it has like we're talking about virtual waifus, by the way, is the collection. Um, but they have like they have like an AI XBT shirt, and they have like a Luna shirt, and they have like A16 AI 16Z merch or whatever, and they have like a Mog hat or like a Mog glasses and stuff, and it's much more like centered around the culture of AI. Whereas I just feel like there's a missing gap there where they could actually do really well, and there's enough like bigger players now that are into it that it could give like what you need for like a lot of these PFP collection is like the social consensus part of it where enough people are like on board where it can like start to take off and like WAI DAO or Common or whatever it was called, which is like a 30 million market cap coin, um or whatever. I'm not sure what it is now. It could be more, but they like swept like 50 of them. And then like ICO Beast has been talking about him a bunch, and he's been like one of the main AI KOLs so far because he's had a lot of really good calls, and he's been talking about him a bunch. And so have like a couple other people, like you said, Easy as well. So they're starting to like get that initial momentum going. Whereas I think like it's just like you've seen these market caps of all this AI stuff, and it's like still only like a 4K collection, 4.4K collection at point two right now, ETH. That's why I just thought it was a good bet because I think like all this AI stuff has had some crazy market cap, so good upside, and there's kind of like this missing there's this missing niche of like a collective PFP for all the AI bros, bros and gals. So
It's a lot of boxes, eh? It looks cute. I mean, it looks sort of like a Milady, but not really with those big eyes. I mean, it just and it's like you said, AI. And if they get an airdrop or whatever, it's just gonna be huge. It's just yeah, man. They were undervalued at even at 0.15 now. Obviously, looking back, it's always like that, right? But yeah, I mean, whoever's in and whoever got in early, good job. Congratulations. This is a cook. As soon as saw Easy talk about them, I had a feeling people in MVHU had them already. Like, I mean, we're just so early all the time. And when I went to look in the chat, they're like, yeah, we posted these at 0.01, 0.03. I'm like, oh, shit, okay. Good job, boys and girls. Good job. And yeah, special mention here for Kook and JJ, who called the 2049 Reflections the Freza NFTs. I think it was last week or the week before. And They're
Oh
up
yeah.
crazy. They're at 0.31 now. So yeah, insane runs. Yeah.
Those are at 0.74 now.
Which ones?
The phrase
Oh wow, good job. I was just looking at the. I didn't even open it yet.
yeah,
Oh wow,
those links like are always
goddamn.
delayed.
Yeah, they are. You're right. Even when I linked the wife, who's last time they were at 0.07, but I opened it up and we're at 0.2. So 0.73. That's a run. I hope JJ. Did you click on these? I know you talked about them. Did you ever end up holding?
Yeah, I held one and I sold it, but around these prices.
Good
So
job.
it's good, but yeah, I guess like kind of further that conversation, like something that I've been struggling with in like the past few months with this stuff is just like sizing into these things because like with NFTs it's a lot easier. You could just buy one or a couple, but with coins it's like how much do I put? But
Yeah.
after watching Melon yesterday, it's like any exposure is just exposure, right? So um yeah, it's nice to just kind of like cook on stuff like
Of course.
with smaller positions, but yeah, I mean like it's just you can get exposure, anyway, and like if something goes to 9-figure market caps, like point 0.25 or point 0.5 goes a long way. Because like I was watching Melon and I'm like, holy shit, like it just feels like you can't make money that way. Like, oh, I have to size things, but you really don't. You
You
know,
don't
Yeah.
need to. Yeah, you don't need to. You can just do it whatever's comfortable for you, and I think that's better. Because if you know how it is when you're trading outside of your comfort zone, you're making dumb mistakes. So you can just do little things and still make a killing in this space. I have a decent sized portfolio, and I still play with very small amount of soul. You know what I mean? I don't get crazy with it. I try to limit my risk. Now I'm starting to scale up a little bit because it's time for that, right? But in general, I think that's the most important thing you can do is just stay in your lane and be careful because you don't want to be doing emotional decisions, and I think you can make a lot of money with very little right now, so you don't need to go crazy.
I think I think it also like helps if you like smaller amounts, it like helps you encourage you to like do more research on that specific thing because you're now monetarily invested in it, whereas like you're previously just looking at it and maybe you end up sizing in because you see something bigger, or maybe you don't like it as much and you get out, but I feel like it almost like gives you an extra boost of motivation to like dig a little deeper.
Yeah, for sure. I like that. If anything, I'll do that. I'll get in a little bit, and then if I like it, I'll DCA more and more before it runs. You know, if I saw that it was really something solid, and then maybe I'll size up a bit. But I've been careful with my sizing. Now, obviously, like I said, we're like on escape velocity and everything's super hot, so I'm being a little bit more loose with it. But in general, I think when we do finally top and start coming down, those rules are going to be important because then you're going to be limiting your risk. Nobody ever sees the top, and nobody ever sees what's coming after it, and nobody ever thinks that we're just gonna go down only. But that time will come eventually. So if you're gonna incorporate those same rules when we're down only, at least you're gonna be limiting your risk and not taking so many big hits. So I think it's just important to always be consistent with your rules, and that's why I do it the way I do it because last cycle I was getting wrecked left and right, oversizing. But yeah, I mean, so many airdrops coming, right? We have just to expand a little bit on what we are saying with different projects and stuff. But pudgy penguins are flying again, I guess because of the abstract coming, the abstract token being airdropped soon, and also they announced in Pudgy Discord that if you had 222,000 Pengu or 888,000 Pengu, two different roles you can get in their Discord, that you can get a role in the Discord. And I think people, you know what I mean, have been speculating that that's going to get abstract. So that's another thing that's been going on. Pengu today has been on a ripper. I mean, all time highs, just insane numbers. I think it was up to 4.5 cents when I woke up, and yeah, that made me instantly super excited. I just can't wait for that to go much higher. There's that one that's been pumping. The Jira Sands, they announced their token finally, and they've been moving quite well. They didn't move that much. They're at like 10% on the day, but I mean they were already priced in. Everybody expected them to drop a token, so they've been moving up nicely all week, pretty much. And there was another one I wanted to talk. Oh, the parallel avatars. These here at one ETH, they were way cheaper a couple weeks, like even a week ago, and they might have still room to grow. People are speculating that they will also get some prompt. I don't think there's any concrete proof of that, but I
nah.
mean, There's no proof of that, right?
Yeah,
Right?
nah. So
Yeah.
like I was saying this like earlier, maybe like a couple weeks ago. Like I think they just get a speculation bid, right? I
Yeah,
think that
that's
was like
it.
their 0.5 or 0.45 ish. So up pretty good now. But yeah, I think they do get a badge with which like will boost your prompt earnings. I don't exactly know what that means. So it'll be something, but they're not getting an airdrop, at least from what the team has said.
Ah, so they have said it. Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything at all for the cards, and I wasn't sure about the avatars, so I'm glad you're filling us in here. And another one I have to mention really is GLH Effers from Diff, ex Pirate Nation. Was it Pirate Nation? Yeah, it was, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, Pirate
he still
Nation.
works
Yeah,
there.
he does. Okay, that's right. So this was always the speculation when we made this play like last year. He dropped them; they were super cheap. I bought a bunch of them at 0.05 and under. And I mean, my speculation was always this guy is gonna. He works on games. He's gonna make a game with this. And it took a while for him to announce it. I think he just announced it this week, and they finally ran to what they are now at 0.43. But my play goes a little further than that. Even is that usually these games come with tokens. It's not announced anywhere, but come on, you're gonna tell me this guy's creating a game and he's not gonna drop the token eventually? It has to come. Like that's my whole speculation play here, and I've dumped a couple of them just to make back my amounts, but I'm holding. I have 8 left. I think I'm just gonna hold them and see where they go because the minute he announces a token, if he ever announces a token, these things are gonna tour 3x from here, and the supply is not even that great, and I think they're even being burnt as time goes by. So yeah, and from what I read today, I think it's gonna be on abstract too. So there's just so many like converging facts for this project. I'm hyped about it. I'm excited, and I'm gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna hold them through the game. I usually like to sell these things before it starts, but if I see that like tokens are announced and stuff, I'll dump a few. But I'm liking what I'm seeing here. That's one of my big plays right now.
yeah, and like shout out Scottco because I think he was saying like they might be going abstract, and here they are. But
Scott was sharp, bro. He's sharp.
yeah, yeah, and he's like connected with those teams, right? And
Yeah. He's a
like
big Pirate Nation guy, and obviously, I don't know his game, the gaming, and just these ecosystems are just his thing. He loves them. But yeah, go ahead, JJ.
yeah, yeah, no, it's like what is it? I don't know, just like it's all speculation for me, and like I have this thesis, and I know like a few others have shared the sentiment that it's possible that abstract's going to be a farming chain. Then just like having these like on-chain activities with games probably would be the play. Like you saw that with like Cap and Co and other things on like Blast and Arbitrum with like Bridge World and other things like that. So it looks like everything that's like moving the abstract that can kind of give you those on-chain transactions are kind of pumping. So um, I think there's still a lot of upside from here, but yeah, just up good from what Scott mentioned. It's yeah, just like be on the lookout for just any abstract things, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
On that note, too, Silva was saying in chat. I don't know, like what expectation is consensus, but he was saying he thinks like the abstract rep isn't gonna be like the token itself isn't gonna come right away. It's probably gonna be at least a few months after the chain goes live, and I think maybe people who have like pudgies or something and like hoping for that airdrop right away, it might be a bit of a delay. Silva, I don't know if you have any other like info around that or just like a hunch. But I agree with you too. I think it would just make more sense that they wouldn't drop it right away.
Sort of like, I guess, sort of like Blast, where
Yeah, he
we'll
says
have
nothing
to.
confirmed or says nothing
Okay, yeah,
confirmed or official. But yeah,
it's
like
possible.
Blast, I think it makes sense to do it like that, but like not put like numbers on it. Um, kind of like how
Yeah,
like something like ARB did, for instance, like certain amount of transaction swaps. I don't know, like contracts used, volume, bridged over, all those different kind of metrics where it like gets you close enough to being like a normal user. I would assume that they probably do something along that as well as maybe airdrop to like key like project holders and stuff. Like I think like those on-chain heroes, like Penguins probably will get a nice airdrop, but it might not be right away.
Yeah, and
like,
on that point, we talked about sorry, just
no, you're
just
good.
for
You're good.
like
Go ahead. Yeah,
ETH printers last time, right? just like the top things in the ecosystems will usually like get something, right? Like some sort of airdrop or whatever. And you see that with like virtuals, right? Some of these like tokens are getting other tokens, and you hold these tokens are getting other tokens, and like ring bearers themselves, like they just got some DTR XBT project, and I think a bunch of other projects got that. Some coin by like some deep tech research group, some group of like devs and stuff. So that coin should be good, but yeah, like just having like exposure to like some of the top ecosystem things when something's new, just like will probably print in that manner, right? Whether it's coins or NFTs, and we haven't really seen that with Sol yet. So I think like somewhere along the line you'll start to see that as well. Like if you're holding, I don't know, A16Z, you'll get something, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. I don't know if I'm on board. Like, maybe I'm a little bit. I guess it depends on if Abstract is using their token for transactions, but I don't think they are though. I think their whole test net has been with ETH. So I would have like said maybe they will drop it right away if they're like more of an ape chain where you need ape to do transactions and stuff. Then I would have understood that they drop it right away. I still think it comes earlier though than you guys are saying, just because of the way they built the chain out. They already have so many apps launching on it, and it's like quality stuff, right? Not just like blast that like incentivized people to farm for blast tokens or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of quality projects moving over there to build out the chain and have a strong foundation. So I think maybe even if they do drop the coin right away, it won't be detrimental to its growth. I think it's not gonna be one of those things where people are like, "Oh, great, I got my abstract token, I'm done with this chain." I mean, there's so many other incentives to stay on there because of the quality of the actual chain and the projects going over. So maybe we do see it come a little sooner than you guys are expecting, but who knows? I could see it go either way. I'm just putting that out there because I think it is very different from Blast, still the same. Where Blast was really just, hey, come add TVL, come play and click buttons on this chain and get airdrop. And then once it came, everybody was like, yeah, there's just a bunch of rugs on this chain. Why would I even stay involved? And I mean, they were just like disappointed and left. So big difference on the get go. I think it just Abstract itself has a feel good like feel to it, and I can see it doing much better than Blast. I think it'll be what we thought Blast should have been.
Yeah, different market too. I mean, Blast was
Different market,
was
yeah.
bear. This is bull, so that's obviously a huge thing too. Where I think a lot more shit has a better chance of doing well with good market conditions.
Yeah, another shout out here. I didn't notice this, but I think AI had said it earlier in chat. Backpack is finally doing an airdrop. Did they announce that? Is that official?
Yeah, they announced it today, I think. Well, they didn't like officially, but it seemed like that's what they were talking about in February.
Nice. I hope I get a nice little allocation of that. Let's go. I haven't used it much, but I mean, did all the stuff early on.
Yeah, here I'll share invoice. Hang on a sec. It just says the seasons are coming February 2025. I'm just assuming that's what they mean. If it's
Oh,
not, then like everyone's gonna be pissed. But
the seasons. That feels to me like, hey, get ready. We're opening up farming to our token. That's what that
yeah,
sounds
that'd
like.
be ridiculous.
It kind of feels like
Um,
that, no?
yeah, we'll see. Um, yeah, was there any other airdrop stuff?
That's all I had on my list. I don't know. I'm sure there's a
But yeah,
bunch that
you say the prime for prompt, right?
I did. If you know more about it, you can go ahead and talk about it. Or if someone does that's in chat and wants to cover it, I know we have a lot of parallel people in MVHQ. You guys can go ahead and take it over. I don't know much about it, so I couldn't go too in depth with it. JJ, or do you know
Yeah,
about it?
so
Yeah, go ahead.
prompt is a AI Pathfinder token. What I mean by that is like you'll be able to deploy agents using prompt token, and get them to do things on chain for you. I think they have a bunch of videos demonstrating the tech, but one of the things they do is like, let's say, or they want to solve for is like, let's say you want to buy chill guy, right? And you have tokens on base, so it's like swap you you tell the agent swap you 100 USDC for a chill guy, right? And it does it for you. So that's the goal of the agent, and like to simplify some like on-chain transactions. And the agents are fully capable of learning, so there'll be a lot of like teaching and training the agents, and they'll actually have what they call bounties for finding these pathways. So if someone is trying to have their agent do something, but it's not been done yet, or they can't figure it out, they'll post a bounty in terms of like prompt price, like 10,000 prompt or something to get some to do something, and anyone can try to figure out that prompt with the incentive of the prize of prompt, and also it benefits the system because then all agents can use that pathway after that, and you'll get a percentage of fees doing that. So to get prompts, there are a couple ways. One is just by signing up and referring people. I think 1% of the prompt supply is available for that on the Wayfinder site, and the other is by caching Prime, right? And so there's multiple tranches where you can stake it for. The biggest multiplier they give is for staking for 3 years, although the value of that is kind of decreasing as we get closer to TGE. At the start, it was like an 86 multiplier, and now I think it's about 57 if you do the max stake. So some things to consider with that, and it goes through these cycles where the KOLs like talk about it, and like the price pumps, and as people try to get exposure. But I think market cap wise, it's all pretty small compared to what it could be, in my opinion. Like, I think Prime token is still, even after this pump, like under 1 bill market cap, and prompt there's some spreadsheets out there about it at 2 bill market cap and all this stuff, but I think the capabilities are just far more complex if it works right, because there's always execution risk with a lot of these things. But from a lot of the videos I've seen, it's pretty bullish, and you could find out more. There's like white paper on their site, Echelon. So there's like a lot of, I know I've named like a lot of different companies, but it's all under this Parallel umbrella. So there's like Parallel, there's Wayfinder, and then there's Echelon, and Echelon is kind of the governance DAO for Parallel. And so they have this big white paper about their plans for Wayfinder and Colony, and you can go read more in depth on that. But yeah, happy to answer any questions if they come up.
Love it, JJ. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man. Much appreciated. Sorry, did you have something else on that?
No. Okay.
Yeah, then obviously MVHQ, HQ, coming later this month. We have I should shout out the weekly challenge. I think ends like really soon, in an hour. Yeah, in like an hour from now.
Good call, yeah.
Here, I'll post it in voice hangout chat. Then the new one will get posted today as well after that. And but yeah, I mean, if you're a member, like, which obviously every single one of you guys are, and you're not doing these missions, then you're probably going to be upset at yourself, in my opinion, for not taking, because members get a very nice multiplier on like the points and stuff if you hold NFT in your wallet. So it's like very simple to do all these missions.
Yeah,
In my
if oh sorry,
will
sorry,
be
Jay,
well
go ahead.
worth it. Yeah, go ahead.
If you want to help in VHQ, the one you can do that will really help is the OKX faction mission. There's a reason why we put a 50x on there. It's because we want to get their attention, and we want to show them that we're doing numbers. And by participating in that one and boosting the numbers, you're just improving our chances of being listed there eventually. So make sure you do that mission. All you got to do is download a wallet, and it's actually got a lot of traction. Honestly, I'm impressed by it. It's had like almost 3,000 users registered. But that's how, if you want to get OKX's attention, and obviously you're gonna get a lot of point increase for this too, but that's one that I would do. And do not fade the whitelist raffles we have up right now. Steady Teddy's whitelist raffle, that's huge. People are dying for this one, and we have 10 winners going out for that one, and I think each whitelist spot is selling for over $3,000 right now. So enter that. It's not gonna cost you much, and if you when you do go to do the whitelist raffle ticket, only mint one raffle ticket. You don't need to have more. It's not gonna give you more chances. It's really one per customer, even though it's not capped there. And there's another whitelist for on-chain villains. Do that one also. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh yeah, the It Remains whitelist also. So yeah, just go do those whitelists. They're worth it. And we're always trying to give back to the community. So go get your points, go fill in your whitelists, and let's do it.
Yeah, obviously, not every mint's gonna be a cook, but we certainly try to get the most hyped ones, and being able to get them on MVHQ's app also lets us get them within the community too. So if you'll notice, like pretty much all these that are on the app, we also give like reserve spots just for community stuff that's free. If you go to the active allow list page.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll paste all the whitelists just so you can find them easier in chat here. It's a good idea.
but yeah, that's a lot of it so far. Gotta obviously shout out once again like the Padre partnership. Sorry for all the ads, but like this is I mean, we're trying to make you guys money here. This is a
Yeah.
cook. If you're not if you're already like shitcoining in trading and you're not using Padre, in my opinion, like you're like sacrificing obvious EV. It's they're giving us up to 3% or sorry, up to 6% of their token supply just to MEHQ members who sign up. It's like over, I think I'm not sure what the Padre price is right now, but last I checked, it was like over $1 million worth of their token in rewards just to MEHQ members. Up to that, and it's based on volume that you do on there. Plus, the fees are lower than like Bullx or Photon or whatever. So, if you're trading shitcoins and you're not using Padre, I'd highly recommend using it. Plus, they are, I mean, they're members and they have a dedicated feedback and support channel in our Discord where they're very responsive, and they've already pushed a bunch of updates that members have suggested.
Yeah, I've loved Padre ever since I switched over. That's where most of my volume goes now. And then as I sell my bags on Bullx, more and more is gonna go onto Padre. I've already built up my portfolio there from I think I started with 5 SOL. I think now I'm like at 50 SOL already of just value over there, and it's just gonna keep going. I'm planning on ramping up greatly here. I just love it. I think the platform's just great, and like just the trending tab on the side and whatever you can do, how you can customize your basically your dashboard and your UI. I love that about it, and I feel like it's much easier to find like what the bundles are and everything. It's much more accurate than I've seen on other platforms like this one. So I don't have to really. I don't feel too. Like I don't feel like I need to look everywhere to find my bundles and how many snipers there were and everything. Everything's right here. So obviously there's some bugs here and there because they're still working on the platform, but in general they're so quick with it that I don't even mind. I think it's been really good, and all those added incentives, like we're volume traders, right? So even that 0.2% difference that we get just for using Padre compared to other marketplaces is a big help. We don't see it, but it does chip away at your stack really quickly. So yeah, I'm glad we have this partnership. It's been really good, and I kind of the UI grew on me. I enjoy it a lot, and I find like you know how the tabs uh, they update all the time the price. Where if I use Bullx, I mean if I don't go to the tab after a while and it doesn't refresh itself, the price will stay stagnant, and I'll think a token is at a certain price when it's crashed or you know what I mean it's pumped and I missed a pump. Whereas with Padre, I can have 5 or 6 tabs open and I can look at my prices just by glancing at the tab because it's just always real time price. So that's one of my favorite things about it. All the other ones lag behind or just stall out, and it always throws me off. But yeah, sorry for all the ads, but it really is like Jake said. We're not even trying to like push this on you. We push whatever we think is good for us and what we think is gonna cook. Like we would not shut up about Blur, and people did not listen. 90% of the like not 90%, but a big majority of the holders didn't even really consider it or were just inactive because it was the bear. But we pushed that hard because we believed in it. Same thing with Padre. I mean, I'm 100% behind this team. I think this is a great platform and it's going to bring back value to MVHQ, and that's what we're trying to do here is bring back value. And that's why also we shout out HQ and the missions, because I know as soon as we go TGE, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't do my missions," and "Oh my god, this is," you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the price is gonna do, but it's free money either way. It's like free value that you can get just by clicking a few buttons. So whether it's Padre or our platform or whatever, that's all we're trying to do is just trying to give you guys opportunities. So take advantage.
I'm too lazy to push buttons. That's the problem. I need a I need that whitelist one where it's like auto entered. But yeah,
Dude.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been lazy with it. But just try to get back into doing them.
You know how much value I've missed on virtual just because
Bro,
I was
it's
too
yeah.
lazy to click 3 buttons to bridge over for the last few
know, right?
weeks. That's crazy. Like,
And that's
uh,
that's kind of like what we talked about last time, and even now, right? Like in this market, it just pays to be curious and to be like
Yeah.
trying things. Like even with the waifus you talked about, I saw them at Mint, and I was just like, I'll look at it later or whatever. I forgot about
yeah.
it. But yeah, no, I like the Padre shout. It's great for someone who hesitates like me, and just buys and sells in the next second. So at least I get the
Yeah,
farm to volume.
exactly. Um, yeah, the Padre thing, by the way, it's like 3 months long partnership is established right now, and and it pays out after each month with milestones. So like the first month ends in 12 days. And I think probably people will FOMO in after they see the payouts from the first month. Um, that's just my guess, but we'll see. But yeah, enough on all that. Anything else that we had? I guess I do want to like shout out. I feel like we haven't really talked much about shitcoins, but um, the streets have been crazy hot for shitcoins. They've been doing really well. There's been a lot of runners. There's obviously, I mean, it's shitcoins, super high risk, high reward type stuff. But I mean, in MVHQ, I know a lot of people are doing well. I think I just want to shout out that I think it's a really good environment for it right now, and it's specifically AI coins. Like that's like been my like full focus is all AI stuff now, and like I was initially like resisting it, which I'm pissed at myself for
Same.
not seeing it earlier.
Yeah.
Um, but now it's like I'm all in um on AI. Like I don't it's like it's clear to me now that it's obviously not going to go anywhere. So might as well just dive headfirst into it. And that's done really well so far. So I think just in general, like a couple notes, I would say, um, a lot of it is like shit that's launching, like it's just people whipping up something really quick, and there are a lot of rugs involved too. So I would say, I mean, be careful, like make sure you do proper DD on like who the dev is, and if they're like legitimate, and if like the product itself like is actually like useful, or if there's like already like other competitors that have launched the same thing. um that kind of thing. And also one thing I've like noticed, and something I'm trying to improve myself over last cycle, is I like last cycle I'd buy a ton of stuff, and I'd have like a big diverse portfolio of things. And it wasn't bad per se, because your risk is spread out, and that's good. And I think that's important. But I would say, especially like with this AI stuff too, I'm trying to reduce like my longer term holds to like just a few things, whereas that I have like maximum conviction on, because I think for a couple reasons. One, unique to the AI meta is that there's just so many new stuff and like new technology coming out every day, that like the thing that you hold now there could be like a better version of that, like that could all of a sudden launch and like hurt the one that you have. So make sure there's some type of, I don't know, like moat there, where if it's like social, um, like it's like too much social consensus, like the AI XPT, for instance, like there's probably gonna be a lot of other trading bots that, like, but AI XPT has already captured such a big like social attention, that I think it's gonna continue to have like kind of that moat around it. Or if it's like the dev in particular behind it is like super smart, and like they're gonna continue to update it. um, or if it's like a proprietary like data set that they're using that no one else has access to. I think like understand if there's like some type of moat around um, your coin, then that's important for like long term holds. Otherwise, like I think a lot of this stuff is like like I learned from last cycle, that I think it makes sense to try to get into early. That's the obvious play, but also like get out before there's any type of like big execution that's going to happen. Like I think there's a lot of risk with execution of the product, to see if it can actually like achieve mainstream. I think we saw that a bunch with NFTs, where they made big promises, right? They made promises of, oh, we're gonna like land, we're gonna be like the Disney of Web3 or whatever, blah blah blah. And like obviously like a ton of that did not end up coming to fruition, or if it did, it was like years later. Um, so I think not getting too swept up in large promises, and also like you know, taking advantage of euphoria waves of selling into those kind of things makes a lot of sense. Obviously, NFA, do what you will, but I personally am like holding a few conviction bags. Like fart coin for one is like is a big one for me, where it's just like I have a ton of conviction in it, and I don't need to monitor it at all. It's just like there's no execution risk. It just is fart coin. That's it. There's no one like building anything on it or whatever. Um, and also, sorry, long-winded, but another point on this is I think, especially with this AI stuff, if you hold too many bags, that takes up a lot of your attention because you're constantly like checking on updates from the team and like how like the bots are progressing. Um, and it's just a lot to monitor if you have like 10, 20, 30 coins or whatever, or different projects of all these different AI bots. Like you're constantly like monitoring um obviously price, but also like the updates from the team and like how they're doing, where I just think that's a lot of attention and time taken away, whereas time is very valuable in this market right now where it's very hot, and that could be time that you could use to research new and upcoming stuff, and that could cause you to miss other stuff. So in my opinion, it makes more sense, and like at least what I'm personally trying to do is like getting in and out pretty quickly on a lot of the newer stuff, and like only keeping a few like high conviction things where I really believe in them. Otherwise, I want to like be constantly searching for new opportunities.
Yeah, good shout. I think
Yeah,
the only
good
one
shout.
I'm. Yeah, go ahead, JJ.
My fault. My fault,
No,
Jinzo.
no, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just want to just like emphasize again, just to like everything you said is like, I'm in total agreement, but also to just like, I mean, what's it called? Open minded and like have that like almost childlike wonder like we had back in 2021, right?
Yes.
Because I think just natural curiosity will just help you in this kind of market, rather than the one that the bear has kind of instilled in me, which is like
Yeah.
fade everything first.
Don't be a pessimist. That's really
Yeah,
what it is right now. Don't be a boomer either, where you're like, I don't understand this. It's gonna die. Like it doesn't work like that. Just you know, what I mean, be open minded and try things. That's how you people have to understand. That's how we made money in NFTs. Is that we were going against the grain and being like, you know, oh wow, there's opportunity here. I know collectibles, and you know what I mean. We found a reason to invest. You can't be talking yourself off of every meta and every bag. We need to kind of turn that risk part of our brain back on and just try things. It really is that moment right now. But the only one I'm really bullish on that's not an AI coin is UFD, just because of how feel good it is, and it's bounced off its lows of 60 mil like really well. It came back up now in this range of 110 to 140 mil, and I think it's just a matter of time before we see another leg up. Ron has become a complete degen too. He's been buying back into his own chart. He's put a couple thousand back in at these levels, so good for him. Like embracing the community, and just he's a good guy too. I love watching his streams. So the only one that's really not AI that I'm really enjoying and I'm holding right now is this one, other than Pengu, which is because of the pudgy penguins, and there's a lot coming for that ecosystem. But even for that, I have my exits set up. I have exits for everything that I hold. But I agree with you, Jake. I'm comfortable with my AI bags. I don't have that many. I have probably 5 or 6 different AI coins I hold. UFD and Penguin and Fwog are my other 3 that I hold that are not AI. And right now, I'm so comfortable in my bags. I sell on the way up on everything, but at the same time, I'm not afraid. It's the first time in a very long time where I'm holding this much stuff and I could actually sleep. Right now, I'm only waking up to check my phone because of excitement more than, oh, I hope my coins didn't dump. Right, I'm really feeling good with my bags, and it's a good feeling. You know what I mean? To not have to go to sleep and be afraid that everything's gonna nuke. And I mean, the only time we're really seeing big nukes now, other than when the market goes red, is on Sundays, where everything kind of dies and you can have opportunity to buy up. But even Saturdays have been really, really hot lately. So it's been cool, man. We're in a good spot, and I hope it continues. And I'm pretty sure it will continue. But yeah, that's all I got. We didn't open it up to the community today. Anybody want to bring anything up? Like it could be widespread. If you have some alpha to share, or even if you have, some talking points for things that we covered today, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Jinzo, how's it going?
What's up, Ross? How are you, bro?
Ross.
What's up, guys? Just wanted to chime in. I think I was gonna try to join last week or whatever, but I was not around. I was flying for the holidays and stuff, so just wanted to tuned in a little late just because I had some other work going on. But just want to see if you guys already touched on virtuals and kind of what you've been excited about.
We did, but I'd be glad. I'd be happy to hear what you have to say, Ross.
Yeah, I think it's just important to sort of see some of the early relationships forming in the macro. Um, I was always really interested with like how the macro impacts the micro with NFTs in terms of how did Ethereum ripping affect NFT floor prices. And you kind of have a interesting relationship going on with Virtual's ecosystem and then their underlying token value. So I think if you're not already, that's just a really great place to look. Usually, when the virtuals token falls in price because all of their agents are denominated in virtuals, you'll see some sell pressure coming in and some floors having a harder time staying up. But then conversely, when virtuals is pumping, you'll see everything start to go pretty crazy. So just looking at like the kind of past couple weeks and trying to collect some data from that, I think you could look to speculate more on virtuals, particularly prototypes, when the virtuals token itself is pumping. I think it's just going to make it way easier conditions versus right now when it's down from like $5.20 to $4.20. It's hasn't been that easy to trade prototypes right now. So just kind of wanted to shout out that relationship. I think that's a pretty important one to look at, and I would just continue to monitor it as virtuals progresses, and try to be bidding the smaller cap stuff during those pockets of like virtuals ripping, and then be taking profits when it reaches a decent enough pump.
Great shout. We were due for this look correction too, right? I mean, it's been hot, 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 and last week, like a few days ago, we saw like insane numbers across the board on virtuals. So it's okay. I mean, if anything, it's just gonna give opportunity for people to get in and buy up the good projects. So I don't see it as a bad thing. It was just too crazy for too long, right? So yeah, but virtuals I think is here to stay. It's been doing some great work out there.
Yeah, for sure. And then also just wanted to shout out, I know I was talking to Seth a little bit about this in chat, and then you might have seen it on the AI threads, but was talking to Lizard Capital over the weekend, because we noticed a trend of just prototype agents selling off pretty drastically across the board. So like you'll notice a lot of times new prototypes will open up close to bonding, and then they'll just get nuked really quickly. So on virtuals, there's this, I wouldn't really call it an exploit, but there's this like mechanic that allows snipers to basically take risk-free trades. So if you notice on virtuals, anytime you go to sell something, you have to approve the spending cap. So essentially, what snipers are doing is they will buy these brand new projects where the devs have not yet approved that spelling cap, because they know that they'll get a notification when the dev does that, right? So like if you're a sniper and the only person who has the supply is the dev, it's a brand new token, you can buy the entire supply basically, pump it up, make it look like it's about to bond, and then any person that buys in after you, let's say you just are the sniper, you did that, and then someone buys in $3,000 after you can then sell the entire supply and pocket that person's $3,000. So all of this is to say that right now there's a bit of an exploit, so you're going to see that across a lot of prototypes. And the main thing to just look for is look at the holder count on the prototype page. Just make sure there's not a sniper with like a huge portion of the supply. If you see someone with 90% of the supply, just don't buy it. There is supply allocated to the bonding curve. So if you see like one wallet with a lot, that is usually the bonding curve, but just be careful of that and always make sure you're tying together the actual prototype to a Twitter account. So like go to the Twitter of the project they're claiming to be, make sure that that project has tweeted, we are launching an agent, try to find a direct link to it from their Twitter. There's a lot of imposters now that are basically finding existing companies on Twitter and launching agents for them basically. So it's just fake stuff that results in scams. So just be wary because virtuals has gotten pretty hot, and as a result, more and more extractors enter the space. So really, just wanted to flag this for everyone listening today. Trade safe out there and just keep your head on a swivel.
Great shout, Ross. I noticed it too, where there's a lot of copycats and a lot of scams starting now. So just like with anything else, when it gets hot, it just gets a little crazy, and the scammers come in, and it causes a crash. Really, it causes like a little bit of a, a moment of down only, but then when they all disappear, we're up only again. So yeah, I noticed that too. I remember even shitcoins. We've seen a lot of different cycles of that where we start getting a little crazy, and then there's more rugs than there are real coins coming out. And you know what I mean, we saw it on ordinals, we saw it on NFTs. We anytime something goes crazy, the scammers come in and make a bag and then leave. Right when they see it, like they're just wrecking people left and right, and people stop trading. So great shout. Be careful out there, no matter what you invest in. Anytime you're in a hot market and you feel like you're buying a top, especially, you have to be extra vigilant. But yeah, that's all I got, Jake. Anything else on your end, buddy?
No, all good here.
All right. Well, JJ, thank you so much, man. I really loved your insights today. I love it when you join us in here. Three-way talks are always fun. You have a lot of knowledge, and I'm glad you're sharing. So thank you so much for joining us, Jake. Same to you. Always love everything you have to say, man. It's really fun. You always fill our brains with all this knowledge on the macro stuff and and your angles on stuff. So yeah, thanks a lot, man. Um, but yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. See you guys in chat.
Sir, thank you, brother.
Thank you guys. I get more wrinkles in my brain talking to you guys.
Let's
I'm too
go. Me
dumb.
too. Less smooth brains now after
Yeah.
this convo. Thanks. Yeah. All right. Go do your missions. Bye, everybody.